Moments after crossing the finish line at the legendary North Wilkesboro Speedway, a derogatory message entered Wallace's number 23 2311 racing team's radio channel, leaving a bitter taste in the air. However, this message was not only bitter, but it also covered his great performance with an unexpected twist. Where did this incident come from, and who was responsible for it? Join us as we look closely at the film and find out what happened at the North Wilkesboro Speedway. But before that, please subscribe to our channel and hit the like button for more whereabouts on NASCAR. Bubba Wallace, who drives for 2311 Racing, is one of the few NASCAR Cup Series drivers who is doing double duty this weekend. At North Wilkesboro Speedway, he's racing in both the Cup Series and the Craftsman Truck Series. Wallace will be getting ready to have a better chance of qualifying for Sunday's All-Star race. Shortly after Wallace claimed the checkered flag and finished as the runner-up to Kyle Larson in the $1 million to the winner event at North Wilkesboro NC Speedway, someone keyed into his number 23 2311 Racing Team radio channel with an insulting message. This is what the person said. "Go back to where you came from, you... expletive. You're not wanted in NASCAR." A spokesperson for 2311 Racing told Motorsport.com that Wallace, who is the only full-time black driver in NASCAR's top series, did not hear or recognize the comments at the time. NASCAR officials stated that their security team is looking into what happened and trying to figure out who accessed his radio channel and how. Wallace felt sad and happy about coming in second place. Wallace could have been considerably happier with his result if it had been a regular race, which continues a recent series of excellent runs over the last month, including a pair of top 5 finishes at Kansas and Darlington SC. Wallace said, "I didn't know anything coming into this race, and after the first run, I had to go into conserve mode. Conserve the rear tires. That was the biggest thing. After last night, I was really skeptical about how we were going to run. We weren't very good. Even saving, I just didn't have what Larson had. I thought we could close the gap a lot more than we did, but we didn't have the resources. I'm pumped that my friend Tyler Reddick came in third. Just need to keep up the good work and have fun in Charlotte next weekend." Early in the race, Wallace and his number 23 Toyota showed how strong they were. When the first red came out after 20 laps, Wallace, Larson, and Reddick all went to the pits to get new tires. With the new tires, Larson sped past the other cars and into the lead, and Wallace got as high as a second before the halfway break. After pit stops, Wallace got back on the track behind Larson. Since there were no cautions in the second half, he never had a chance to catch up to the winner. Kyle Larson drove all the way from the back of the field to the front after getting caught speeding on the pit road early on. Larson won his third All-Star game, and it was his third win in his last 4 tries. Larson's third All-Star win ties him with Dale Earnhardt, 1987, 1990, and 1993, and Jeff Gordon, 1995, 1997, and 2001, for the second most All-Star wins in history. Larson is also the first driver to win the All-Star race on 3 different racetracks. His earlier wins came at Charlotte Motor Speedway in 2019 and Texas Motor Speedway in 2021. Rick Stenhouse Jr.'s early spin caused a collision, and he was one of a small group of drivers who came to the pit road to get new tires, which set the tone for Larson's night. Larson was put at the back of the field because he was going too fast on pit road. However, he quickly showed that he was much faster than the rest of the field. At one point, Larson was ahead of the rest of the field by a half a lap. He then won the race easily in the last 90 laps, leading 145 of the 200 laps. Wallace said of Larson, "He could attack hard and still have something in the end. If this was a regular race, it would be something to get excited about, but it was for $1 million, and he didn't win. Tail tucked between our legs, but all in all, just keep riding the moving train. We fell short by 1 spot. Larson should be happy. He's been going crazy recently. Now we're back where we belong. We need to keep going in that direction and get further into the playoffs. I'm glad we're right where we are now." What are your thoughts on what happened at the North Wilkesboro Speedway? Do you think Bubba Wallace deserved it? Tell us in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button for more updates. While Larson told Fox News, "That was a real old school behind beating. In the long run there, we had a great car, and I was sure there was going to be a warning. I got out to a big lead, and I could see that everyone in front of me was driving like crap. But I can't say enough good things about the number 5 team. We were god-awful all weekend. In practice, I was about the worst on a 30-lap average, and yesterday I went backward in a heat race. We had to figure out some plan at the start, but we went from being dead last to first place and won by 12 or 13 seconds. Then I could just take it easy on that last run." From the beginning of the weekend, it was clear that tire wear and how drivers handled their tires would be the most important factor in who did well at North Wilkesboro. The track's surface, which was last repaved in 1981, swiftly chewed up tires and generated high levels of wear, meaning that drivers had to conserve their tires early in a run to avoid having their lap times fall off enormously late in a run, and that fresh tires had a prohibitive advantage over old tires. All of the teams in the All-Star race had 3 sets of stickers for their tires, but most of them didn't get to use them very often. Except for Stenhouse's early spin, the All-Star race was clean and green. Long stretches of green flag racing were only broken by a competition yellow just past the halfway point. All of the drivers who pitted at the same time as Larson, including both the 2311 racing cars, benefited from this change. Larson had already won the Tyson 250 NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race on Saturday, so this win made it a clean sweep for him over the weekend. But this was not all for the Sunday. Bubba Wallace also had one more race to look at, but ended in disappointment. After a fight with fellow Cup Series driver Kyle Larson late in the race, Bubba Wallace came in 5th. But when he got out of his number 1 Toyota Tundra TRD at the .625-mile-long track, people booed. In terms of how well liked he is by fans, Wallace's success has been up and down. The driver from Mobile, Alabama has learned to enjoy both the good things and the bad things that happened on and off the track. The more people you talk to about the number 23 Toyota Camry TRD driver, the more different their thoughts are. Some people really like the 29-year-old, while others really don't. That's putting it lightly. In an interview after the race, Bubba Wallace was his usual funny self when he talked about the boos he got in North Wilkesboro. He said, "It happens each week. It's sports, so it will always be around. You're really close to the stage, and it does make a difference. It's going to be there every weekend." Wallace said more about how the yelling from the crowds had made him feel. "As long as you live your life based on how a book looks, that's who you are. Don't make it different from anyone else. This is the most important thing. I came in 5th, I got paid well, and I'm fine." This weekend, Bubba Wallace drove the number 1 Toyota Tundra TRD in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race at North Wilkesboro Speedway, which had been closed for a while but is now open again. At the .25-mile-long track, he looked like he might be able to win. Kyle Larson of Hendrick Motorsports passed the Alabama native, who was winning the race late in the final stage because his tires were worn out. Wallace explained why it was a good day, even though he came in 5th. He said, "All in all, good day, just annoying, because we could have won the race last weekend, and it would have been fun to go up against Kyle Larson more this weekend, but we'll see." The NASCAR Cup Series stays in North Carolina and goes to the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the Coca-Cola 600 race next Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Fox. This is one of the most important races in the sport. So, let's see who takes the win next Sunday. That's all we've got for today. We hope you enjoyed it. Tell us what you think of the video in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in the upcoming video.